Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the internal reality of your leaders and whether you're trying to be right or trying to get a result on this episode of Pimp My Pharmacy. My background is in psychology, but regardless of your level of interest in the field, I think we can all agree that the system between our ears has a huge influence on what we do and how we operate. For example, I have a 2-year-old. If he doesn't get a nap in the early afternoon, by about mid-afternoon, his system starts to overload. His attention span shortens, he forgets what he's doing, he acts goofy, and he gets easily frustrated. This happened over the weekend, and I caught myself thinking, he's running low on RAM. The optimal condition for his system is to get a nap in the early afternoon, and then his system gets to shut down, consolidate some memory, and reboot again later, refreshed. Your staff and leaders have the same system between their ears. I'm not saying that they need a nap, but there are times when their system is running less than optimally, and there's things that you can do to help them out. When you're driving change in your business, your leaders are an enormous factor in making that change happen. In my opinion, the most effective thing that you can do with your time is to manage your leaders effectively. We have a certain type of leader that is attracted to the pharmaceutical industry, and it's a very objective style of leadership. This is a great strength, but it's also true that your greatest strength can be your greatest weakness. An objective style of leadership can lend itself to arguing the objective reality of a situation. Most of the time, an objective approach to what is happening or what the situation is as close to right without emotional interpretation as we can expect. That's what objectivity is. But if your leader isn't getting done what you need them to get done, and you're objectively right, does it matter? Are you moving closer to your goals, or are you just spinning your tires being right? I've said this before, but in this industry we're very long on intellect, but not so long on self-expression. So we're prone to feeling defiant, but speaking compliant. So while you can argue the objective reality of a situation, your staff will feel differently about the situation, but agree with you in order to keep peace. And there's nothing actually wrong with this. But if your leader feels differently to you about something and tries to deliver a result without emotional engagement, their staff just aren't going to believe them. Not only that, but the leader will run out of steam at the first sight of a brick wall. Being right about a problem doesn't get the job done. Arguing semantics or details about the problem is going to work sometimes, but a majority of the time you're just going to create an argument. I'm sure you can relate to a situation where an authority figure argues things are a certain way, and you just agree out loud, but disagree silently. So I continually ask the question, do you want to be right, or do you want a result? If you really want a result, you have to do something crazy. You have to believe your leaders. You don't have to give up your objective stance on the situation, but in order to be effective, you have to incorporate their thoughts and feelings into that objective picture. An emotionally engaged leader is infinitely more effective and passionate about achieving the impossible than an objectively engaged leader. Now, I'm going to talk about this more in another video, but there are a lot of pharmacists today who are fantastic intellectually, but in an industry that at the moment are heavily interested in sales. Imagine being emotionally supported and rewarded your entire life for being intellectual, and then the whole industry that you work in moves towards getting better sales. Something you could argue they've avoided their whole life by being intellectual. It's a hit and a half for someone's aspirational identity. So I'm guessing not all, but there's a whole lot of leaders out there who are a little bit emotionally tender about being thrust into this world of sales. And you're pouring fuel on the fire if you're arguing objective reality without giving credit to their internal emotional reality. Remember, I'm not saying this to be nice. I'm not particularly interested in nice. Being nice doesn't necessarily get you a result either. You could make the argument that being mean is more profitable. What I am saying is that you'll have a better chance of squeezing a result and a profit out of your leaders if you include their emotional reality as a part of their system, rather than argue the objectivity of the situation. You can still be strong, you can still be forceful, you can still have your way, and you are still in control. But you can't squeeze blood out of a stone. I can't just tell my son to stop being tired and have his system work optimally again. The system needs the right action in order to move forward effectively and efficiently. You'll get greater results, greater engagement, and greater input from your leaders if you give credibility to their internal reality. And greater results from your leaders means greater profits for you.